When it comes to Tinywhoops, the weight is really important. If we're thinking about a 5 inches, a few grams here and there is not going to make a huge difference. But in a Tinywhoop, which is this small and weighs 25, 24 grams or something similar, 1, 2, 3 grams is a lot of weight. We're talking about 10% of their total weight. That's the main reason why when you are looking at drones this small, analog is still the king. The digital VTXs are a bit too heavy to be flying on this one. DJI has nothing that fits on a small drone like this. Voxnail has something that is almost there, but still is a little bit too heavy. HD0 is the one that is the closest with a very light VTX, but still it's heavier than an analog VTX. And up until now, BETAFPV's lightest Tinywhoop has been the Meteor 65, but not anymore. BETAFPV has recently launched a 17 grams drone called the Air 65, which is their response to the Happymodel Mobula 6 2024, which was recently launched a few months back with a very low weight, high kV on the motors and a very minimalistic canopy. Here are the highlights of the Air 65. The Air 65 weighs around 17 grams without a battery. 25 grams if we add the BETAFPV 1S 300 mAh battery that I have here. 24 grams with the 260 mAh lava from BETAFPV. And 25 grams with my favorite 1S, the Tattoo 300 mAh. BETAFPV is recommending this 260 mAh battery, saying the flight time is similar, but the performance is better since the 260 is a bit lighter. I will talk about the flight times with each one of these batteries later on the video, but yeah, the lighter the battery is, the better the performance you might have. And in this case, even if the difference is only 1 gram, it's weight for these small drones. We're talking about that the drone is 70 grams. 1 gram is around 5% of the weight of the drone that we can take down. So it should make a difference, and you should be able to choose if you want a bit of performance using the 260 mAh, or if you want a bit more of flying time using the 300 mAh battery. This drone is carrying a new flight controller created to reduce the general weight as much as possible. The one in my drone is a 4-in-1 with flight controller, ESC, OSD and VTX included. The receiver is connected to a UART and it's a full-size expressless in my case that you can see here with the flat ceramic antenna to avoid the antenna to break and get loose when crashes and these kind of things. BETAFPV told me they will be releasing also a new 5-in-1 all-in-one controller to include the receiver, the expressless receiver in the same board. I'm expecting that to be also lighter since the receiver is not going to be full like a regular receiver, but I haven't had the chance to test it, so I'm not 100% sure about it. What I think can be a bit of a discussion here is the fact that BETAFPV added a connector which requires a USB adapter to connect to the computer. Of course, the adapter is included with each drone, but I wonder how fast people are going to lose it and how many times people are going to complain about it. I'm pretty sure this is to save space and or weight, but I'm in the verge of this one. I hate these adapters. I lose them and I have to buy them, and not everyone has it in their stores, and you know, it's a bit of a complication. There are 2 available kV for the motors, the 27,000 for racing and the 23,000 kV for freestyle. Both of them are 0207 SE motors. Very difficult to read since these ones are shiny and silvered, but the ones that I have in this drone are the 23,000 kV. As I have mentioned in the past, getting these small drones to high kV provides much better control on the drone. Me, who is not a really good pilot, I can still do some tricks and have enough power on the drone to recover from for example, a power loop, or avoid obstacles when failing the trick. This is something that for me is really important because it feels more like if I'm flying a bigger drone, like a much more powerful drone. And in this specific case, this drone doesn't feel under power at all, and it's very responsive. I really like the fact that I can try different things and still don't feel that I have no responsiveness in the drone. These are the flying times that I'm getting with each one of the batteries that I'm using to test the drone. We start with the lava from BETAFPV, 300 mAh, and I'm getting around 4 minutes landing at 3.4 volts. Following the Tattoo 300 mAh, getting half a minute more at 4.5 minutes, landing at around 3.4. I might have landed a little bit lower than 3.4, but something around that. And then the recommended 260 mAh from BETAFPV, the new lava, which is giving us 3.5 minutes, which we were expecting since it's smaller than the 300 mAh, but still it's pretty decent to get 3.5 minutes out from this battery that is 1 gram lighter than the other ones, and potentially getting a bit more of performance or control over this drone with this small battery. I tested these times by just cruising around, not doing a lot of tricks or anything, looking for that long flying time that we can get, from the manufacturer's specifications. I tried to do kind of the same thing with each one of the batteries, just flying around, nothing special, not going out of the house too much, so the wind didn't create a lot of issues with this comparison. And of course, if you push for tricks and racing and all these kind of things, your times are going to decrease, right? But these should serve you as a comparison or as a way to know what you should be expecting out of each one of these batteries. Actually, something that I'm pretty happy is that for the first time I'm getting the times that BETAFPV are actually claiming, because they were saying that for freestyle this drone should be doing between 3 and 4 minutes, and I'm actually getting the 4 minutes. Maybe not flying freestyle, but I'm getting the 4 minutes. In the past I had a big difference between whatever they claim and whatever I was getting. Let's talk about durability. I have this drone for around a month and I have crashed many times, and I'm still using the same canopy that I received, and I haven't had to change anything more than props. In the past, this was one of the points that I complained most from BETAFPV. Like, I remember when I tested the Cetus long time ago that I crashed it, I think once, and it broke, and after that I couldn't use it anymore. So far I'm very satisfied with this Air 65 because I've been crashing it, trying to do tricks and things, having fun with the drone, and it's still going without anything particularly wrong. I haven't broken the frame or anything yet, so I'm pretty happy with the durability of the drone so far. As a summary, I have to say I've been flying many different Tinywhoops, starting with the Meteor 65 and using also Mobula 6 from Happymodel, but I'm pretty surprised and amazed and happy with this Air 65 that I have here in my hands. If you look at the videos that I have in the YouTube channel, I kind of try to design what I consider the best Tinywhoop with motors with high kV and some BT 2.0 power cables and very lightweight frames, etc. And looking at all those parts together, it's actually what we're getting with this drone. This drone is super light, it's behaving very well, I have a lot of control, it feels natural and it feels good to be flying with this drone. I can practice all the tricks that I can't do yet, and I'm not very scared that it's gonna break because the durability so far has been great with this drone. So if BETAFPV keeps doing these kind of things and the durability of the drone keeps being this good and the parts, I think this one is becoming very easily one of my favorites drone to fly with this so light weight that I have here. So if you are looking for a very light drone and you don't have to spend hours looking for all the parts and putting it together to fly your Tinywhoop, I would recommend you to have a look at this one, see if you are enjoying it as much as I am, and let me know in the comments if it's like that. This is what I have for you today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.